finally had the Pwat game. Been doing pretty well with the starting lineup. My mind's jumping to questions that I probably shouldn't be asking at this point with him playing with the starters.
What types of questions? I want to know.
If his 3-point shot is real or keeps up, and this is one game against the Pelicans, is he going to be filling in as a starter at some point? What does that mean for Christian? What does that mean for his free agency? So I'm trying to just enjoy him doing well, but questions to be asked.
Well, you know what happens is when a team doesn't extend the player in the summer, it invites these questions as the season goes on, right?
Yeah.
Peyton Watson had a career high, 32 points. Pels left Peyton open from 3. He had 9 attempts in this game, which is like, I don't love seeing that number. 5 of his attempts were in the corner. I thought Peyton also did a great job of just finishing his attempts at the rim. Honestly, the layups still feel like a 50-50 proposition, but he also had a lot of strong two-handed dunks in this game. If you could bring that clip up, Will, of one of his good, like, I love the strong two-handed dunks. Pelicans like applying that pressure way up the floor, and then Jokic is able to find him on the back there.
Yeah, it's almost like a cherry pick play there.
And like Peyton could have tried to like, I'm gonna tomahawk this because I'm open, but he didn't. And this isn't even really like a dunk; it's just like a strong two-handed finish. You know, like let me just make sure the ball goes in the basket because that's literally all that matters.
Stay disciplined.
But he also made his layups too, and I think the one we have here is if you bring up the made his layups, this is the reverse. So Cam finds Peyton in transition and he gets clearly fouled, so maybe he would have had like, a stronger looking finish without getting fouled, but obviously he makes the layup and that's all that matters. The reason I bring this up is because I feel like making his threes and then finishing his layups was a recipe to, in this game where he starts and does all this stuff, was a recipe to score 32 points. I wouldn't have been surprised if, without the threes, he easily scored like 20 plus, right? But it was just a matter of like, minimize your mistakes on finishing your finishing reps on offense, and then you're able to score a lot. And that's basically the Christian Braun formula. Like he did, frankly, in the Wolves game and the Bulls game. Like a lot of people are like, he's better than Christian. And I'm like, the first 2 games that he started in that spot were like, oh my God, can this guy make a layup?
Any young player like that. I mean, we've gone over this so many times with like they need Jokic minutes almost. It's going to boost their stats. And Peyton doesn't have great stats off the bench this season. He's been starting. His stats are much improved, but he's playing with Jokic and much better players and spacers. But he's still got to make the shots when they come. So that is definitely a thing, but there is going to be a bit of a boost. If he could keep this up consistently where offense is coming a little bit easier to him, whereas he's making some threes here and there, he's finishing at the rim a lot more consistently, then might start asking some questions.
Actually, if you could bring up the split cut at the end of this game, nice set. They entered the ball. He just pass. Immediately, like he just knew this was I thought this was such a great possession because Peyton was like a lot of people talk about Peyton having a lot of confidence, like as a shooter, sometimes driving recklessly in transition, all this kind of stuff. But Peyton approached this possession like he knew exactly what he needed to do on the play, goes in, executes it, and it like doesn't hesitate at all to immediately just like follow through on those steps, catch the ball, finish confidently. The finish is very confident, all of that, but it's really like all the steps that led up to that, entering the ball into Jokic, going to set a good screen for Tim Hardaway Jr. to set up this positioning, and then slipping there so that he can get that cut. And then obviously everyone's going to remember the really confident finish. The biggest difference in the past between having like Christian and Peyton in the lineup is that Christian knows where to be on offense. Whereas with Peyton, the reason I point out like a simple split cut action here is because it's like, oh my God, he knew exactly like what to do and where to be on an action. And that's like surprising to us. All right, let's go to the Peyton finish off the glass. Jamal drives in. Like the Pelicans are kind of like Jamal got the ball in the corner, and I thought the Pelicans did a good job closing out here. Who is this? Is this Herb Jones?
Yeah, it's Herb.
And then the Pelicans are fully zoned up, and then Fears is again having to guard 2. And they're like, Fears, you go guard Peyton Watson and Zeke Nashi because we're not worried about those players on the perimeter anyway. But Peyton decides to cut, finds Peyton on this pass. and then has a nice soft finish off the glass here.